I'll at least show you what I do to give you an idea. And if there's no one who ever asks, then at least you've been exposed to it. It's fun. See Ken down. good evening to you, and thank you for joining us wherever you may be. We welcome you to the fall season, part 2 of our debuts. Just a few days removed after the football team opened the brand new renovated stadium across the way. A ranked team fresh off of a state runner-up is back at home trying to chase a conference title and a whole lot more. It's number 3 Pella set to take on number 5 Norwalk as we open our Little Hawkeye Conference season. It's always a fun evening to be here on Pella Dutch Live, but especially for volleyball, especially in a fall that has so much promise for all of our teams in athletics. I'm Andrew Schneider, joined by former head volleyball coach and now senior mom, Katie Brand, as we get you set here for your opening serve on Pella Dutch Live. And Katie, last year was, I think, an exceeding of expectations. We certainly thought a team that could make the state tournament. I don't know if we envisioned all the way to the state finals, but the team really put it together, especially in October, especially as this Norwalk team saw on the road to state and made their way to the state final, had a huge opportunity there. A lot of those players are back and hungry for more as we head into year 2 of head coach Joel Allman's tenure, and we head into year 2 for the senior class leading this program. And a lot of fun to be had in between. We're not putting all those expectations on this team, but that's on the horizon. That's the overarching theme. This program has very high hopes for what they can accomplish, and that really started a couple weeks ago in camp, but really started here tonight at home against a Norwalk team that has those same ambitions.
Oh, this team definitely has goals that they have put in front of them. Coach Allman has them dreaming big, which they definitely had the taste of that last year, and maybe a little unfinished business. That happens a lot to runner-up teams. I mean, as thrilled as they were to be in that position, they remember the heartbreak of a loss too, and so they're going to pursue a lot of high excellence this season and hold themselves to a pretty high standard and bring along the girls that it's brand new for them. We have a lot of new varsity players to complement our returners, and it's going to be a really, really fun journey to see where it all goes.
This Norwalk Warriors team, as we mentioned, has high hopes. They are 5-4. Their 4 losses have come to teams ranked in Class 5A, 7th or better, and they largely have the same team back. They are in the same boat. They have a lot of the key players that you saw from a season ago on their run are back in this roster, and they are hungry after the Dutch swept them, both on their senior night in the regular season and on the road to state. And this is a Warriors team that feels like on paper has all the same potential and possibilities. They have some of the better players in the conference returning, and now the question is, how much have they improved and how much can they measure up, knowing that they were a step or two behind this Pella team and program a season ago?
Oh, I anticipate that they have really grown a lot, just in experience, in cohesion on the court, put in a lot of time in the off-season, preseason tournaments and scrimmages. I mean, all of that really builds just your confidence on the court, your ability to support each other and lift each other up. And the more you play together, the more you build that. So I definitely think we're going to see a more confident team this season out of Norwalk and some really good volleyball.
We got to coordinate our entrance here. We saw some hesitation from Ella Heemstra up front, but we've got the entrance figured out. This Pella volleyball team set to take on Norwalk here in Little Hawkeye Conference action. So we'd be remiss without mentioning this is one small part of a huge fall already on the horizon here for the Dutch. The girls' tennis team is still ranked 3rd in the Iowa High School tennis poll, ranked 2nd in the coaches poll. They've played the majority of their season. They've only got 3 regular season matches left because of the new fall schedule. The cross-country team opened, both boys and girls, a fantastic start, especially for the girls, ranked number 1 in Class 3A. If they're all healthy and they're all lining up at the racetrack on Halloween, they're winning a 4th state title. From there, though, their ambitions are bigger. They're looking at nationals as a possibility. The boys are looking for another top 3 finish, which is not an easy path. Class 3A, very competitive in that realm is there. And then, of course, the football team, a new era there. The new stadium opening, a new head coach for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Of course, Jay McKinstry is one of the greatest coaches ever in this school, regardless of sports, not just for what he did on the field, but his presence off the field. And, hey, a lot of good things came from that program, but Ben Bollard has his own ideas. We got to see some of those in action, the new uniforms, the new entrance, and all the above. And I tell you what, there's just a buzz around Pella High School again. And don't forget the Marching Dutch. They really have basically their full show already in play, minus all the fine details, of course. And they looked fantastic on Friday night, too. So fall is very much here and alive and well. And last year, we thought it was going to be the ultimate highlight of the year.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic fall. But then, of course, we are coming off of a remarkable summer as well. So the report is, Katie, things are fine at Pella High School.
You know, it's so fun. It's so fun to see these different programs come into their own and then see these multi-sport athletes. I mean, it's incredible the way that they shine in the different arenas and on the field, and then even to see them not just in athletics, but in music and different activities. And I love that we breed that culture of involvement and being part of something bigger than yourself. And I think those are incredible values to have as a school, and it is just so fun to see the success that comes with it.
Well, Mom said she might be watching tonight, so I'll just mention her name. But when I talked to her post-state softball championship, Emma Ekoff credited the fact that a lot of those girls had been either at state track or on that volleyball team last fall, that the moment wasn't too big for them because they'd been there somewhere else. And while the skills may not 100% translate, where it does is right here between the temples. And those girls, Abby Melvin, Ella Heemstra, they were ready for the moment. And, of course, Katie Shekel and Emma, of course, too. And that doesn't happen at other schools so much. And you look at a lot of the other schools that are our size now, and there's more specialization. I think Norwalk still has that culture. I see a couple of these girls here. Ellie Hatlevig was a great jumper and was at the state meet last year. And Ava Carlson, a starter in basketball the last couple of years. There is, still something to it. And I think in a world where we're getting more and more pushed to specialize and do one thing, schools like Pella and Norwalk are the example of that's not necessarily the best thing for the kids or the school or the community. And at Pella High School, I don't think we win those championships this summer without those kids having other experience.
I agree. And huge credit to our coaches. Our coaches, our directors, our leaders of these programs. I think they understand the value of that. I think they know what's best for kids. And sometimes you have to maybe put something aside for your own program to buy into that bigger concept. And our coaches do that, our leaders do that, our administration believes in those things. I mean, I loved going to the softball field and you see the superintendent right there cheering on the team for a state title.
I interviewed him that day.
I know.
I did. I got to interview him for Let's Talk Pella while we were out there,
But that's what it takes. It takes leadership, believing in that, instilling that in your leaders, and just, again, teaching our kids that there are some bigger things than just your one sport or your one piece of your identity. Like, our kids aren't just basketball players or band members or students. They're involved in a lot of things, which is great. Well,
and I don't know where the camera is right now, but I would imagine that if Mr. Fouch standing right there next to Jesse Jablonski, give him a ton of credit. You say what you will about ADs and all this other stuff of, where they fit into the bigger picture. Matt has definitely reinforced the culture, him and Sarah and their team.
Yep.
And we're not just saying that because we're on the Pella Dutch live stream. We say it because we like them anyway, but there is a clear leadership and direction here, especially when Matt took over the program, of being intentional about making it for the kids. There's been a policy the last couple of years that's been built about parent expectations and coaching expectations. And why we bring that up here in the video stream is to remind people that obviously it's bigger than the game. It's the culture, and the success from Pella comes from a lot of hard work. It comes from talented kids and talented coaches, but it also comes from a culture that we've built of expectation and understanding that we are all in this together. And if the volleyball team has success, that's going to make the cross-country team better just overall in culture, right, and all those other things. And Coach Cutler would say the same thing, like he's better because of what the rest of the school has to offer, and then our track program's carrying it over in the spring.
Yeah.
I'll get off my, soapbox, so to speak, but while we're mentioning it and while we start this new fall season, want to let people know there's a lot of people that it takes to make this happen. Thank you, Mr. Fouch and Mrs. Streff, all the coaches, and then, of course, our parents and community for their support. So we're here for volleyball.
We are.
Little Hawkeye Conference volleyball. Norwalk right now has the warm-ups, and let's talk about this Warriors team. They're 5-4. Both teams have really largely played tournaments so far. They played in a really big tournament. They had, I think, 5A number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 7 are their losses. So they've played the big ones of the big ones in Class 5A. They have wins against some pretty quality teams outside of that, but that's the hard part about tournaments is what team was missing a player because of a band trip or,
well, in tennis this year
tennis
has
especially
really impacted some volleyball programs.
And so it's really hard to get a full read. And I'd say the same thing about Pella. Pella is 7-2. There's some very quality wins in that. Their 2 losses came against the 2A state championship favorite, and one of those in Class 3A in Mid-Prairie. So I don't think either team has a bad loss. I don't think, there's been little moments in between.
And when you go to those challenging tournaments, you're going to walk away with a record that might not even be ahead for the day, but you're getting incredible experience, especially this early in the season. You're getting to see matchups. You're getting to see some pressure in your how your players respond to pressure this early when you play tough competition. So you learn a lot. but sometimes the record takes some dings along the way. And most of the people who look at records, they look at who you played and who you competed against. And both of these teams have had pretty competitive first week of the season.
Well, and this Norwalk team in particular, a lot of familiar faces on here. It starts with third-team All-State selection, Ellie Hatlevig. As I mentioned, she was a state track and field qualifier, one of the better athletes overall at Norwalk High School. Really had a lot of pressure on her shoulders last year, and I say that because we were a team of seniors and juniors. Mm-hmm. A girl like Hatlevig was a freshman, and she was having to be the go-to player. And not to say that showed or anything like that, but that's not easy to be 15 years old and have that weight on your shoulders. I have a feeling that regardless of whatever physical improvement she's made, it's what her mental game could be that may take her and elevate her into one of the better players in the entire state.
Yep, and she plays with a pretty competitive club and gets good off-season. And I do think there's a huge jump between freshman and sophomore year. Just having that year of varsity experience, knowing what that pressure feels like, having more confidence in yourself. There's huge gains that happen between those 2 years. So she's such a dynamic hitter and just all-around good player. I'm kind of anxious to see what it looks like tonight.
Well, and she is not the only player returning. As we mentioned, a few of those other names. Defensively, Reese Heim is back. She was their lead kind of defensive specialist a season ago. Ava Carlson, as I mentioned, a very talented multi-sport athlete over at Norwalk. She's having a great start to her season as well. Jillian Hammond is back from last year. Obviously, again, a very multi-talented player, so you see that. And then, of course, Hadley Michael. Anytime you can have your setter back, it doesn't hurt, certainly. And so really a lot of the key components that you want from a team that's going to go make a run at state, Norwalk has. The question is, have they elevated their game to that level? And tonight's a great test for them. Obviously, Pella feels like they're in that same category. And for Norwalk, regardless of what happens, is can they hang with the Dutch? That might be the confidence boost they're looking for.
Yeah, and I think having that foundational core, like you mentioned, having a solid outside, your setter, your defensive, and then you just fill in the rest of the pieces and see what it looks like chemistry-wise. Like, do you start in a different position? Where are your matchups going to be with what's across the net? Those are all things that you maybe have your side of the net figured out, but then you have to start to make adjustments to what's on the other side. And so another year of varsity experience, I think you make those adjustments more as a player, not necessarily coach having to tell you to make those adjustments. You just learn that much more between seasons 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 and so on.
And I think Norwalk is built similarly to Pella in the sense of Hatlevig is going to get hers every night, right? She's going to get her opportunity. She's going to get her swings. What is that second or third attack, and how consistent is it? Because teams are going to key on Hatlevig. And while it may work against some of your, random 2A team on a tournament on a Saturday or something like that, they are going to struggle if they can't find a second person. I'm not saying it's not there.
Right.
It's the consistency behind that player, right? Can they be someone who's a consistent threat so there's no triple blocks or something crazy to try and shut down Hatlevig?
Absolutely. I mean, volleyball is a team sport in that way. It really can't be just one player versus one player. It brings the team atmosphere, and you want to have those supportive roles. You want to have the offender that the defense wasn't quite ready for. So a balanced attack really is the most efficient way to score points.
Well, and I think the other piece, as you said, too, are little rotational things. We're only really, 2 weeks into the season, barely, I mean, for some of these teams. And so we don't expect the finished product to be here tonight, but for Norwalk, especially considering their season ended against this Pella team last year, I think this is a real measuring stick, not just physically, but mentally. You're in this gym. Your season ended here last year. All of you were here. I hear oftentimes it is a new team, and it is, right? New team, whatever it might be. But for these girls,
they remember.
They remember. And so what is that going to be? Fuel? Is that going to be motivation? Is that going to be the thing that puts them in a 5-setter classic tonight? Or are they going to let that get to them? And they're humans, and we're going to find out here in a second.
For sure.
And we're going to talk Pella as soon as they hit the floor, but that's just... It's fascinating that we start with Norwalk because arguably, you look at the rest of the conference, there's still some very good teams out there. I'm not taking anything away from Indianola or DCG.
This is a big season opener feel, for sure.
It very well could be the conference championship. We're not going to put that on there because there's other things that can happen. But
on paper right now,
these are the preseason two best teams. Here come the Dutch yet again. And the volleyball look, I see Norwalk has it as well. When I saw it at Media Day,
and
I was, it's just, I'm not used to it. I'm used to, as weird as it sounds, I'm used to the shirts with sleeves.
Yes. Yes.
And so then you have the sleeves that are just, but the girls apparently love it.
Well, and a lot of players have been wearing a sleeve.
Right.
Like, so especially defensive players, they're pretty used to it. There are a few girls, though, that this feels very different than what they've had before. But it is the look. I mean, you watch the college programs, this is the look. You watch a lot of high school teams are adopting it.
It's slick. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
You get used to a certain thing for 10 years, and
yep.
I'm sounding older.
It's okay. It's all right. I think volleyball uniforms have gone full circle, long sleeve, short sleeve, polos. We had like little collars when I played in high school. And now this is kind of a weird hybrid of a long sleeve, but not a long sleeve. So, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I've seen it all.
Now that Pella's out here and they're warming up, let's talk about the Dutch and their prospects. They're 7-2, and as we mentioned, a lot of key returners. Probably lost a little bit more to graduation than Norwalk did in terms of on-the-court presence. Claire Smaka turned into a fantastic libero. Obviously, Emma Ekoff, we saw her in softball, was also on the all-tournament team in volleyball, really became that second 1A, or, if you will, to Katie Sheckel's top player rotation. But from there, obviously, a lot of returning talent across the floor, a lot of experience, and a lot of balance out there as well.
Well, and I think, again, like losing Kelsey Talkie was a 3-year varsity full-time player. Sydney Namagrum, multiple years. Emma Ekoff, multiple varsity player. I mean, that's a big trade-off when you're graduating that and then you're putting in first-year varsity players. I mean, not very many of these girls saw significant time last year, and some of them, they are brand new to varsity, and one of them is brand new to high school. So that's a lot of, that's a pretty big swing. It might not look that way on paper, but it is, because the varsity court is a whole nother beast compared to JV from last year, 8th grade from last year. It's a whole nother level.
The good news is the 4A Volleyball Player of the Year is on our roster.
Yes, that helps.
Katie Sheckel last year proved herself to be, if not the best, if not one of the best all-around players in the truest sense. She was top 10 in kills. She was top 10 in digs. She was top 10 in assists. Literally everything you could ask for from a player, Katie Sheckel could do. And then around her, a very talented senior class. Obviously, Abby Brand up the middle was one of the top block getters in the entire state last year. Brooke Schulte really, by the end of last season, was one of the better kind of second hitters, if you will, especially in that offense with Emma and with Katie. Ella Heemstra has been a multiple-year defensive specialist back there. Brings just a great amount of volleyball acumen. Her older sister was a libero for several years for this program. So it's not that there's a shortage. It's just, I think the biggest key for me is those girls I just mentioned got to do that and didn't have to necessarily be the on-the-court leader. Correct.
They did that in supporting roles.
They got to be players.
Last year. Yep.
This year they're going to be players, and they've also got to be big sister. They've got to be especially with a freshman setter and some of these other rotation players that are first-year players. Can they handle that responsibility? And we'll find out over the course of the season, and all of them are great kids. It's just an additional responsibility that Katie Sheckel is going to need to get 15 kills most nights, and she's also going to have to calm down Julia at some point, right? And it's not just Katie, but Abby's going to have to do the same thing. The way they react to bad things happening on the court can't be things that turn into point issues and snowballs.
Right.
They've got to turn into leaders.
For sure. I mean, the physical side of the game is one thing, but the mental and the emotional side can be bigger than the physical side. And this team has done a great job this preseason really getting in a good headspace together, building that culture, bringing everyone together. And we've seen it. I mean, in these first 9 matches, they have really had fun together. They have been really supportive. They're learning a lot as being teammates and who's going to step into what roles. But I think it's making up for a good culture for having pretty much half the team be new to their roles.
Well, and let's mention that other half of the team while we have a moment. Natalia Plate is a starter on the outside. Julia Settles, name that's very familiar in the state of Iowa. That is the same Settles family. She is the youngest of 3 sisters. She is the starting setter. And then you've got Olivia Lowry, who's the other defensive specialist in the back. Then Harper Cowman comes in and rotates in as well. She's actually had a couple of starts because of rotation as well. And then a few others that we'll mention as they come in. So, all of those other girls have been exposed. They've been practicing against these girls for years, so they're not completely new, but especially in a night like tonight where Norwalk basically has the whole team back,
Yep.
there will be moments where they're going to be tested in a way where they haven't been tested yet.
And it's first home game.
All the boys are in the crowd in their jersey.
Yep, and the new jerseys and the whole thing. And it is a whole thing, and it's amazing, but it's a lot to process. So we'll see if there's any first game jitters, what's the energy look like, nervousness, and then how soon can they settle in.
And then I think the other overarching theme here is, for the first time in how many years, there is coaching consistency for the Pella girls.
And you can tell already. The girls know what to expect. Coach knows what to expect. He's got assistants back, which is awesome. There's still some new faces in the program, which is exciting, but it has made a huge difference, just everybody kind of being on the same page much earlier in this season than last season.
It's not that they spoke different languages, but they spoke different regional dialects. And,
yep.
and Joel was trying to implement what Sam Sheldon had put in, but also put his own spin on it. This year, it's all Joel's program. He knows what he wants to do. Megan Scheckel's been around for a long time. His other assistant. I mean,
yep.
There's a lot more cohesiveness that can't be discounted. For the first time in 5 years, the Pella girls have back-to-back years of coaching, and for this senior class, that may be super, super important because of those leadership things that we talked about.
I would agree.
So I believe Brian Vanderloon is going to introduce our starting lineups, and he will. So we'll turn it over to Brian, and we'll be back with First Serve after this on Pella Dutch Live. judge extraordinaire and public address announcer by day, Brian Vandaloon, joining us here on Pella Live as we get you set for your opening serve. Tonight's video presentation on Pella Live is brought to you by Culver's in Pella. Andrew Schneider and Katie Brand as we have our exclusive video coverage of Pella Dutch Live. Pella, number 3 in Class 4A, set to take on number 5 Norwalk in Little Hawkeye Conference action. Brooke Schulte back as a senior among a senior class with Ella Heemstra, Olivia Lowry, Katie Shekel, Abby Brand on the court. Exciting to see that group back together again with a mix, as we mentioned, a freshman. Julia Settles getting announcement as a starter, as is Harper Cowman as a sophomore, or rather junior. So very young crew beyond them in terms of experience. We'll see how it all mixes. This Norwalk team largely back in their rotation from a season ago, and we'll get to see Brooke Schulte lead things off here for us with a packed student section to our left. Just a few rowdy individuals up there. Schulte ready to go, and we are underway. The opening serve to the back row it goes, and Heim up the middle. Hatlevig wide of the mark. Point Pella. And we are underway with that first point for the Dutch. Pella serving this year at a 91.3% clip in terms of attempts in. A lot of aces through 9 matches as well. Shekel on the left side. Norwalk has it, dump attempt, denied by Sheck. Left side for Hatlevig, gets it to the back row to Schulte, and that will sail out, and a kill for Ellie. Point Norwalk. Yeah, super strong swing there from the outside. Really hard defensively to stop that. Setter was front row, and our Pella block was all over that, so good communication on the Dutch side. Hatlevig, a captain, along with Ava Carlson, the senior, and Hadley Michael, the aforementioned setter for Norwalk. Up the middle attack for Shekel is in. And another really hard hit ball. I mean, I feel like we're going to see that tonight on both sides. Defenders are going to have to be in the right spot, and I would imagine things ricocheting off the ceiling because a lot of those balls will get hit so hard that they go up into the rafters. Teams are going to have to track them and bring them back down. Heemstra serve, a tough one. Hatlevig right back to Heemstra, and she'll get her second kill from that left side for Hatlevig. So a good response there. Pella has 42 aces in 20 sets play. Norwalk 44 and 21, and those are tournament sets. That's so really close. A lot of service potential, I think, for both these teams. Brand from the right side, dug up nicely in the back row by Carlson. Hatlevig tips it, saved, and Shekel with a deep push. It's a response here for Norwalk off the right side and in for Delaney Steele. Yeah, I'd say both teams being super aggressive there. Good swings. Blocks are figuring out timing of the other hitters. That one just went down off our block, unplayable. The setter, Michael, now to serve for Norwalk. Warriors 3-2 lead early. Left side for Katie Shekel. It's deep in the hole, but playable for the Warriors. Free ball for the Dutch. Up the middle for Brand. First home kill for the senior. And that was super fast tempo, which means that there was a great pass from the backcourt. On a free ball like that, or an easy ball to pass, you want to have all hitters ready and a really, really fast attack. Katie Shekel with 16 aces in 82 service attempts. Make it ace number 17. Well, and one of the things when I talked to Coach Allman about Katie, that's a huge difference even from last year's, her health. Yep. Even though she played for a state softball championship, she went into the summer feeling much better. She had a couple dings and bruises from playing softball, but this is as healthy as she has been maybe since she's been at Pella. So exciting news there that if she can maintain that, we might finally get to see what a healthy Katie Shekel looks like. And that one's in. A good left-hand attack again as Steele gets her second successful swing. Yeah, again, the tempo feels very fast to me. Both teams are passing well, and hitters are kind of firing on all cylinders. It's going to be hard to defend. Steele hitting .258, 37 kills and 93 tries coming into tonight. It's a good starting percentage. And she's at a perfect 100 as there's an ace on the other side for Norwalk.
Well, we said it would be close. Right now it's been very, very back and forth, kind of waiting to see which team is going to take on a 3-point run.
Back to Hatlevig on the back line. Nicely dug up by the Dutch. Back row attack for Shekel. Received nicely. It's off the Dutch block. Sheck saves it. Right side tip for Steele. Covered by Settles. Nice to have two setters in that scenario because they can set up the back row attack for Schulte.
I mean, that is the thing with the Dutch right now. You have 3 front row hitters, and when Brooke is back there, she is a part of the offense. You really have 4 active attackers pretty much every single rotation.
Well, and it gives Julia the freedom to not have to wait. She can go get a dig. She can go knowing that Shekel's out there to.
And they trade off setting responsibilities throughout the whole match. So it's really neat to have so many options.
Good left hand attack again for the Warriors. They have a Carlson dunking that one down on the Dutch back row as Lowry for Pella had the serve. Warriors with a 6-5 lead, just getting underway here. Opening set between the Dutch and Norwalk. Back row attack. And just a passing error by the Dutch as it hits off the ceiling. Point Warriors. And it feels like it could be just a little bit of those things that gives momentum to another team.
It really can. It can be just a play or two and then see what separation comes. So this is, again, if Norwalk scores, that's a 3-point separation. If Pella scores, we're back to 1. So
Myla Brown with a good tough serve. Good recovery by the Dutch, though. That was really tight on the net to get that to Brand. We'll see Olivia Cutler come in.
Yep, Olivia's serving in that kind of serving specialist role for our opposite middle, the one that the libero does not serve for. So she'll sub in, serve, and then sub back out. It's great when she gets a run, but not that time.
Of course, that is, for those who don't know, the daughter of cross-country coach Doug, but there is volleyball in that family. I mean, Doug was
a coach.
He was a coach volleyball. Too. But Mom was, Lynn was maybe the the talent.
The other side of the even house coaching dynasty and daughters and granddaughters and so
a lot of them didn't end up playing volleyball. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And good on the Cutlers for not pressuring anybody into anything and
for sure
putting them in a corner. And there's another ace. Good serving so far from both teams, but especially Norwalk, a couple good ones there.
All right.
It's Peyton Zeman knocking that one in.
So this is the most separation we've seen, a 3-point spread between the two.
Oh, and probably more important mentally for Norwalk, knowing the last time they were in this gym playing volleyball, it did not go so well. So maybe important for them to get some more confidence.
Yep.
Schulte gets a tip through the block and in, her second kill.
Well, and serving can really do that. I mean, you can disrupt the other team with a super aggressive serve, and then you're able even to score points. But just because you don't get aces doesn't mean you're still not disrupting the other team's offense.
Julia Settles checks in to serve. Settles serving an 88% clip, 8 aces this year. Hatlevig from the back row. At least gets a swing on it. And up the middle for Natalia Plate. Older sister Kaitlin was a multiple sport starter between volleyball and tennis, and now Natalia gets her chance to shine.
Yeah, and she stepped into this middle role and really done a nice, solid job so far. But again, another one of those players that this is her first varsity experience, and she is learning a ton.
Right at the net, miscommunication. And just like that, we're all knotted up. 9 apiece after a 9-6 Norwalk lead.
And that was a really tough ball because the setter's front row. So as a blocker, you have to prepare for the setter, but you also have to prepare for the hitter. And so the blockers have to choose. And I don't think we chose correctly, but still got the point.
Tough return here for the Dutch off the big swing.
Dig.
Hatlevig pushes it over. Free ball for the Dutch. Settles, sets it up for Katie Shekel, and she'll get it to go.
A really good pass there by Natalia. It's tough for those middles. When that ball comes over just a little bit off the net, you're not used to being the passer, but she put up an excellent ball to the setter.
This is a 4-point ride for the Dutch. They're back on top 10-9. Off the block, left side, Carlson.
Good effort there by Katie Shekel, just not quite fast enough, and we're going to maybe put holes in these new jerseys on the very first night.
Oh, if anyone else, it'd be shocking if it wasn't Katie. Pella's home opener here. Not a whole lot at home this fall season.
Nice spot.
A little cross-court tip for Shekel as she tucks it into the corner near side of the net.
Well, and Katie has such hang time that she can be in the air and decide where she's going to place that ball. She can actually see the defense and mid-jump decide if she needs to hit a shot with a tip just like that.
We've made it one trip around the globe so far. Back to the rotation with Schulte, who started us off. Left side attack for Hatlevig, and she'll just crush it through. If she gets a free swing like that with that set, it's hard to stop.
And she's hit a lot of different shots already. She just hit that one down the line. Previous shots were cross court. I mean, she is able to really place that ball wherever she wants as well with a lot of power.
Reese Heim, the libero. Tough serve, Schulte. Pella's got to just give up one here and let the Warriors respond. Off the block and out. Kill is in for Mila Brown. Been a very balanced attack for both teams so far. Shekel and Hatlevig each with 3, but then 2 players with 2 apiece as well.
And if both teams can keep firing like this, I mean, we're going to see some incredible offense because it's too hard to defend all 3 rotations.
Schulte overpasses. And then Pella overcommits at the net.
Yep, that's a back row attack. Julia can't touch the ball as it's going over the plane of the net. She can't contact it too high, and that one there wasn't much she could do.
The Warriors back up by 2. The Dutch took a brief lead after falling behind by 3. Really going after Schulte on that service line. Here's Harper Kalman. Gets it in left side. Older brother Lake, a state baseball champion this past summer. Harper finally gets her chance to shine. She's been kind of living in the shadow of brother and a lot of these girls. And Harper, we're going to see a lot more of her this year.
Oh, we are. She's stepped into a pretty big role doing that pin, sometimes outside, sometimes right side. And being able to bring a good, solid offense.
Another service error for the Dutch, and Norwalk back on top, 14-12. Here in set 1 of this Little Hawkeye Conference opener, and we've got a doozy. The preseason top 2 ranked teams in the Little Hawkeye Conference opening play against each other this year. Right into a double block. Our first stuff of the night goes to Hatlevig and Brown. Warriors matching now their largest lead, 15-12. Back to Hadley Michael, the setter in the back row. Up the middle for Shekel, and contact made.
And Norwalk trying to triple block there in the middle, which, again, against a really strong hitter, is a good idea. Katie able to use that block, tool it off their hands, and find the floor.
And now Sheck back to serve. The Dutch could use a little run here. 15-13 Warriors. And that will not help. Wide of the mark.
And we're still mid-set, but that's several errors in a row that Norwalk didn't have to work very hard.
Norwalk, I don't think, has had a service error yet. Pella's had 3, and the score, everything else has been even. So
right.
We'll get our first timeout here on the floor. We are just getting underway with our fall season. For most of us, tennis is in action a couple more times this week. And then the cross-country teams have their home invitational at Central College. That was announced this week. That will also be the state qualifying site because of the construction at the sports park. So they will go back to. So when I first got here, that's where the state qualifying site was at Central. It's been at the sports park for the last, I think, 6 years now. It's going back to Central. So maybe a little bit of a state meet preview, or at least state qualifying meet preview. Gilbert will be there, very good team. ADM, some good teams. Very good cross country coming up Saturday morning, 8:40, bright and early, at the Central Complex.
I think the Central course, in a few ways, is a little bit more challenging. I mean, it's not as open. You can't necessarily see everything the way you can.
There are some nasty little hills on that, too.
There are. So, I mean, home course advantage for the Dutch, probably, and whoever else is running there. But it's a beautiful place to watch a race. It's very picturesque.
You can see the defending Gatorade Player of the Year, Marissa Farabee, run in high school still Saturday. If nothing else, come see Marissa run and those Pella girls.
Yes.
The guys, of course, ranked second in Class 3A as well. Should be a fun fall for Coach Cutler. And there's your timeout into an error.
Good job, Coach. Good point.
That is the first service error for Norwalk. Pella with 3. That's the difference on the scoreboard. 16-14 to Olivia Lowry we go. Olivia seeing her role really increase this year as well. And she'll find herself with an ace.
That's great.
Second service ace for the Dutch, and they're back within 1.
Yep, and Olivia saw some varsity time last year, which was good. Kind of got a feel for defensively what she can bring to the court. And with Ella moving into that libero role, a DS was definitely needed.
And the Dutch tie it up. Back to Lowry on the service line. And then
2 aces and a miss. I mean, statistically, you'll take the 2 aces.
But
the miss is hard too. All right, looks like Norwalk got a student section here as well, so that'll be fun.
Mila Brown serving. Lowry digging. And right into a double block goes Settles. Felt like some miscommunication on that right side with where that was going.
Yeah, Norwalk's put up a solid block. Definitely something Pella's going to have to make some adjustments to.
Second assisted block for Hatlevig. And back over to Norwalk. Right side tip for Steele. Had a couple of early kills. Schulte has to punch it over. Steele with a full swing. And maybe 80% swing. Settles to tip.
Great
finds
spot.
the line.
That was a good just change of pace. There had been a couple big swings in a row, and Julia's able to just really place that shot right outside of the block, yet in the sideline. It's a tough spot to defend. And smart, because the libero was not in for that serving rotation.
To Cutler at the service line we go. That's at the
Wow,
back line.
that was
Another
close.
ace.
Now we're tied.
Pella has not been able to really take control of anything yet in this opening set, but if there's ever a first time for anything, this would be the window. Tied at 18, back to Cutler. That one right to Hatlevig, who will get a back row attack off the net and in.
And they do use her quite a bit in the back row. It's great to have that option. I mean, again, she's so dynamic. She jumps extremely well. She can hit just as powerfully back there from the front row. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them use her in that role throughout the evening.
It seems the intention is to serve to her.
Well, and that's hard because then it's harder for her to hit if she had to take the first pass.
Left side for Schulte off the block and in. Well, a momentum here for the Dutch.
A good use by Brooke, a good aggressive swing. Instead of trying to go around that block, she simply went off their hands.
Well, Pella with some momentum here. Can they keep it rolling? Off the
Yes.
net and in. It's another ace for the Dutch.
That was a great roll off the top of the net. You hope that those go in your favor, and that one certainly did.
Timeout Norwalk. Down by 3, 21-18. Well, the football team is not going to be home for a while.
No.
But we've got you covered. Waverly Shell Rock. So there's
far.
Depending on your football acumen, you know there's a burned path between Waverly and Pella.
Yes.
For years.
Yes.
But this is the first time the high school teams are taking that path ever in football. So
okay.
Wartburg and Central have played since the dawn of time, it feels like, and it's been competitive and fun and a lot of conference championships. This will be the first time the Dutch and Waverly play. Waverly Shell Rock beat Bondurant Farrar 45-0 in week 1.
I saw that score.
Pella, of course, beat Ballard. So our coverage on KNIA Cable S will begin at 6:30. Well, we want you to come on up to Waverly, too. Join us for the fun. That would be one of the games I have circled for Pella postseason prospects.
Yeah, I
test.
think it's a big test. And I think the Dutch should feel ready. They had a good first outing. That first game was super exciting and fun to watch. But
good to get a lot of that stuff worked out at home and in a game that wasn't so competitive.
We have such a tough football season ahead of us.
Should be fun. Big save by Shekel, but the Warriors are able to respond. 21-19 Dutch lead. Of course, girls tennis is on the road at Norwalk tomorrow. Very likely for the Little Hawkeye Conference regular season crown. And then Thursday, they have Boone here at the court. So check them out on Thursday as well. 21-19, Warriors serving over. That could be a huge error by Peyton Zeman.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot season after season of like when things happen after 20, just gets so tight because the pressure of the end of the set just amplifies everything. So any miss at this point is going to feel way bigger than it would 20 points ago or 10 points ago.
And you have that moment, right? You get the door open for you, and then you just give them the present right back.
Yep.
And now a senior in Ava Carlson in that back row. She'll get that in. Katie Shekel took something off of it to get it over the block, and the Warriors will get it back over.
That's good defense.
But first you don't succeed. Shekel will try again, and she can't get it to go. Light tip by the setter. Right side for Schulte, right back to the libero. That's Hine.
Both teams playing great defense.
Shekel tip, cross court.
That was close.
5th kill for Sheck.
I just feel like both teams were super smart with their offense there. I mean, trying to find shots, trying to make people move, and then when somebody makes the play, both teams resetting right back into offense, defense, good transitions. It wasn't the most powerful series, but it was really good volleyball back and forth.
Well, it didn't feel like September with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores on the court. That felt like a lot of veterans on the floor as we've expected.
I would agree.
Shekel got a dig off her shoulder, then gets the swing off right after that. Warriors now looking. Back row for Carlson, and Plate slams it home with a big block.
And that was fantastic because I don't think you expect her to get set in the back row nearly as much. So Natalia just read that, timed it beautifully. Great push across the net.
Set point Pella, Brooke Schulte to serve. Off the net, tough dig for Carlson. Hatlevig didn't get all of it. Back row to Schulte. Carlson digs it up. Tip over. Plate able to get it over at the net, and it'll drop home there.
Yeah, a tough ball there. Natalia pursued the ball, but then she passed it kind of right back to her spot where she normally was, and nobody else was there to pick up the pieces. But again, a lot of super aggressive defensive people going to the floor, making good reads on the ball.
The junior Riesheim trying to keep the Warriors in this. It'll be set point Dutch for the next couple. And another error by Pella. And a little extra conversation with Settles and Shekel there to kind of figure that out.
And that's where you see, like, she's a freshman. She's making game time decisions, but end of the set decisions take time. You just have to, it becomes automatic. It's not automatic for her yet, but it will be.
Out.
It will be.
Serving error will end it, and the Dutch take set one, 25-22. This video presentation is brought to you by Culver's. We'll step aside, and when we come back, set two between Pella and Norwalk. We're back on Pella Dutch Live. Andrew Schneider and Katie Brand welcoming you back here to Pella High School as Pella able to eke out set number one. The Warriors controlled the pace for the most part in that first set, Katie, and felt like up until about point 18, until the Dutch finally got a little momentum on their side. It was a few Warrior errors that opened the door for the Dutch. And then from there, Pella made fewer mistakes down the stretch.
Right. I would say, it was really back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then Pella serving broke down a little bit in the middle. And then Norwalk's broke down a little bit at the end. And it's usually the end that matters. So I'll be curious if they make any adjustments, if there's any changes for either team. But that really was a back and forth set of good defense, good offense, good aggressive serving. The misses, I think, really mattered. I do think those missed serves made a difference.
Ava Carlson will get it started here. That serve was out, but Pella took it anyway. And now the Warriors get a chance on a free ball. Right side attack is in for Jillian Hammond. I haven't called her name a lot.
And a little defensive scramble on the Pella side because of serve receive, serve receive and then scrambling to cover the defense.
Felt like once Pella took that ball that was going out and put it back in, that everyone was a little discombobulated. Up the middle for plate, big swing. Good response for the Warriors off the block. Left side for Shekel. And that's out. Try to hit around the block. And and that's, we talk a lot about little things in the game. We will throughout this year while we're together on here. But the thing about a block is that I think most people who aren't super into volleyball just think it needs to be a kill. It needs to be an attacking block. That block for Norwalk popped the ball in the air. It gave the defenders an extra 2 seconds to get the ball, got them back in system.
Absolutely. So slowing a swing down is a super effective block. Taking away a key spot on the court is a super effective block. Making a hitter hit out of bounds is a super effective block. So yes, there's a lot to blocking besides just those beautiful roofs across the net that we love to see. There's a lot to it.
For Schulte, and she'll get her first home ace of the season. Pella up to 6 aces. Warriors had a couple early, but Pella right now getting some big points off the service line.
And Pella is being pretty aggressive with their serving.
Oh, it was the area that I think knocked Norwalk off balance the most when they played both times last year. That is out.
Off the top of the block, though.
And it's off the block, and a point for Hatlevig. That's her 4th kill. And that's where Norwalk got so off balance in those matches last year. It was Pella's serve. They never got in system. They never got to a good place. It felt like in that first set, Norwalk was there quite a bit more, but Pella was scoring quite a bit off the serve. Right side tip.
Great up.
Heim able to get to it. Good dive, but couldn't get the back row set up, and it's a point Dutch.
And that was a great way to still try to get an attack on that ball. Your libero takes the first one, outside steps in and sets, and I like aggressive airs like that because you are trying to score. It just didn't quite clear the top of the tape there.
Back to Ella Heemstra at the service line for the Dutch. And there may be a few too many of those for Coach Allman's liking. And an aggressive serving team, you're going to have a little bit more of that, but it feels like a lot of those serves are not coming on, I call overtly aggressive serves. Just feels like they're coming in the center of the net.
A little bit. And again, a serve that goes long, like that one that Norwalk just did, your passers at least have to make the choice.
Yeah.
And so if they choose badly and they stick their arms out, but when it doesn't even clear the net, there's no choice. You're just that unforced air.
Tied at 4, still been back and forth here for Katie Shekel. And that's a left side attack, a hitting error by the Warriors. And I do not want to get too far ahead of myself, but
I'm here to rein you back if we need it.
But last year, these two teams played each other to go to state.
Yes.
And this is the first match of the conference season. So if these teams were to meet again, it'll be October. However, this is, for both these teams, that match in a lot of ways. There's a big crowd, and you're seeing teams that you will have to beat to go to state.
Well, and you just, you want to get a vibe for what is it going to feel like. This is kind of a big stage early, but what does it feel like for both of these teams?
Good block by Norwalk as the Dutch on their heels, but Harper Cowman, a good recovery, at least gives the Dutch a fighting chance here. Heemstra calls for it. Miscommunication between her and Shekel. Ella called for it, and I don't necessarily fault her for that, but Shekel was going to go get
She was, and so that's hard when your libero takes that second ball, and that's when you just got to shake off. That's a one-off. It's not going to happen again.
Hatlevig to serve. A second-team All-Stater nearly gets an ace.
Thank you, that girl.
Steele, frustrated, kind of just took herself out of the play there for a second. That ends up a Pella point. I don't think that the Norwalk coaching staff, Delaney Steele, mishit it, and then she sat there and was angry with herself.
It was out.
Yeah.
And so she played it, and then she realized she shouldn't have played it, and then it just took her a moment to recover and go on.
Well, the issue was she was walking in front of teammates being frustrated.
Right. Yep.
I'm not saying that was the perfect cause for everything, but we've all been there.
Yeah, next point, next ball, next. You have to have a kind of the memory of a goldfish when you're playing volleyball. Oh, that was so close.
Yeah. And it will just go outside of the antenna.
But a good effort. I mean, it's really interesting with Katie Shekel being the kind of setter and player who just pursues everything. Julia has come and met her as a match. I mean, these two both. They are a passer's dream because they both pursue the ball so hard.
Abby Brand up the middle gets her third kill, 7-6 Dutch.
And you just know that they're going to go for it 100% of the time, which is outstanding.
And not to take us back in the time machine to last year, but by the end of last year, it was Emma and Katie matching each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having two players like that on the floor that had that skill and that leadership is ultimately what I think threw a lot of teams off. I think there's a nice left side attack there for Ava Carlson. That's her 5th kill. She leads the Warriors.
Yep.
Teams came into the state tournament preparing for Katie Shekel. They didn't realize that Emma was matching her intensity.
Correct.
And it was ultimately Emma that was the difference that teams weren't accounting for.
And it's super fun to see. And I don't think offensively Julia and Katie are there yet, but setting-wise, they are.
And but with the hitters they have, that's enough. With the ability of Brooke and obviously Abby and Natalia, they've got hitters to go to.
And you run a 6-2, and you have, that's basically two different setters setting the ball. So if those setters are not very similar, your hitters constantly have to adjust and remember who's setting me this ball. These two have figured out to set a very, very consistent ball between the two of them, and it's awesome to see.
And I think what is important to remember is that when Emma came back last year, she hadn't played for a year. So who is she mimicking at practice? Katie, right?
Yeah.
You have a freshman coming in, Julia. Who is Julia watched up growing playing? Katie. So I don't think there's an accident that Julia plays like Katie. It's a good person to mimic if you can. There's Hammond up the middle with a big swing, her 2nd kill of the set. It's 9-8 Pella, but I don't think it's an accident that Julia's around Katie at practice every day, and that's who she and the different dynamic is Julia looks up to Katie. That's her idol, right? So
it's fun. It's fun to see.
Lowry with a tough one there. And there's an ace for the Warriors. Carlson carrying the set well.
And we're back and forth again. Just steady. Both teams kind of feeling the other out again for set 2 and making things happen without very big runs yet.
Tough serve there by Carlson, but a big return there for the Dutch.
Great dig by the libero.
Carlson back row attack. Shekel needed some help there, and no one came. Point Warriors.
All right, our passing is kind of, I don't know if serving is intensified, but we're not really able to kind of fire on all cylinders right now on offense.
That
Gotta
one
get
right
a good
to Lowry. Big set for Shekel. Cross court is out.
All right, little run here.
Well, in a lot of ways, Norwalk's putting some pressure on, but
they are.
A lot of miscues here for the Dutch in between that are kind of compounding it a little bit. See if Pella can get back on track here. Carlson with a really good serving rotation here for the Warriors.
Great pass by Ella.
And that sets it up in the middle for Natalia Plate. Her 3rd kill, point Dutch.
And to keep those middles in the offense, those passes have to be really on to the setter. It's really hard to set a middle when you're being brought off the net or moving forward, backwards. So that was a perfect pass by Ella Heemstra.
Back row attack for Schulte on the serve. Big swing, but out.
No touch
Hammond.
on that one.
Checking in, Alyssa Melvin, watching and listening online, she says on Facebook. Thanks to Alyssa.
Hi,
we spent a lot of time together this summer,
yes.
if you can imagine. Daughter Abby, a key member, the all-tournament team player, one of 3 for the Dutch softball champions. Great to hear from you. Off the block and in, Hatlovic gets kill number 5. Point Warriors. Feel like we've had a frequent flyer. I've seen this name before. Sarah Brummel says, great job, Katie.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. a good match.
Back and forth we go, 12-11. That is outside, wide of the mark for Harper Cowman. Point Warriors.
Yeah, you're in this
time continues.
mid-set points where you want to find some separation.
Schulte to dig. Up the middle for Shekel. Good up there on the left side. Double stuff for the Dutch. Back to the Warriors. Hatlevig gets through it this time.
And that one found the block. Right
14-11. Well, by the end of last season, and talks with Coach Allman about strategy, as we have Heim serving into the net. That's a huge one. A lot of his timeout reads came from Claire.
Yep.
So he would look at Claire and see what his lieutenant on the floor was feeling and whether he needed a timeout. He's got to figure out who that player is, I think, this year of who's the mood, who's the thermometer to give us a read at where we're at. And, of course, Claire is a very unique thermometer in just her personality. The ruling is out.
Yep, and so that's another time where that block didn't touch the ball at all, but forced that hitter to swing wide. So they don't get the points, but they should get some of the credit.
Back to Ella Heemstra. Hatlevig tips it over. Good time for the changeup. That's her fourth kill of this set. And when Norwalk's had their most success, it's finding number 5.
And she, like I said, she's a great hitter. She hits a lot of different shots. She'll swing line, she'll swing angle. She tipped there. I mean, has a lot of different just technique shots that I think, again, being a sophomore, growing, getting a lot of experience last year, she has a lot more confidence in those shots.
Left side for Shekel, and that's out.
Bind. It was close, but I think that was the right call.
And the Warriors with a 3-point lead. A little bit of student section back and forth as we get a timeout on the floor. Timeout Pella, down by 3. They were down by 3, Katie, a little bit earlier in that first set. Were able to rally from behind. And again, it's Norwalk is putting on the pressure, but the Dutch are not handling it very well. At moments. It's just these little moments that are turning into errors because of the Norwalk pressures, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Right, and I think our block, while taking up really good presence and causing things to happen, hasn't scored a whole lot besides the one that Natalia had that good solo block on. So I feel like we need to continue to disrupt, but maybe adjust a little bit or look at our timing and try to slow down number 5. Try to make her change what she wants to do. And that's hard. I mean, she gets way up there. She's super dynamic, but I think we could make an adjustment on our end that would really help.
Well, it may also help just to get a little bit of offense going, too. There hasn't been a whole lot here in this middle part. Again, Pella's not down by a ton, but it's in these matches, Katie, it's these little things that add up in a hurry.
Well, it doesn't feel as balanced right now in the offense either. It feels like we're using Katie a lot, which is good. I mean, set her like crazy, but again, that balance
teams
is necessary.
has to adjust, find someone else to.
Which usually means that you need to pass well.
Yeah.
That way you can get all of your hitters in the offense.
Hadley Michael, the setter, serving to Heemstra. Up the middle, there's your tip, there's your variety, and Cowman gets one in.
Good job. Yep, that's what we need. I mean, the defense needs to expect that every single hitter could get set.
Pella down by 2. If there's a person you want at the service line, usually, it's Katie Shekel. Gets one right at Hatlevig, tries to take her out of the offense, and then tipped over by Shekel. And a lift, I think, is the call there. Or over. Okay.
It was Katie on the back row attack, but I thought Abby touched it before it went over. But maybe at that point, the ball had already crossed the plane. So if it crosses the plane when Katie touches it, it doesn't matter if a Pella person touches it next. But Abby, I think, might have gotten a fingertip on it.
Well, she'll get a little more than a fingertip on that one. Point Dutch, and they're still down by 2. And this will bring in Olivia Lowry, who's got a couple of aces tonight. As we cross the 8 o'clock hour here at Pella High School. Hatlovic. Right side, big dig, and the Dutch can't finish. Big swing, I should say, into the dig by Delaney Steele. Warriors trying to capture their first set against Pella since 2023. The Dutch swept the Warriors 3-0, 3-0 last fall. Probably didn't tell the whole story about how much closer talented these teams really were. Tonight has been very much a microcosm of how close these programs really are.
Yes.
18-16 Warriors. Abby Brand, her third kill of set 2.
Mean, it's just so interesting. You see Norwalk do one thing, and then like Pella does one thing, and then Pella does the next thing, and then Norwalk like responds with the next thing. So, yeah, I think it's a really, really good match.
There's a big ace for Olivia Cutler. That's her third ace of the night. It was that last set where she got those back-to-back. They were pretty late in the set and were the difference. And she's coming up at a big spot here, down by 1. To Heim this time, who takes it. Steele, good half swing on that one. Whether she intended to or not, the off-speed threw Pella's defense through.
I think that was an intentional shot. It was very well placed.
That's a big point for Norwalk, not to let that get tied.
Absolutely.
And now Steele, a junior, gets a chance to maybe put the Dutch away here in set 2. Brooke Schulte trying to prevent it.
Oh, good effort.
Carlson did all she could to get to
it. She really did. I thought she was going to get there.
That's Schulte's first kill of set 2.
Good time for it.
Brings in Julia Settles. Up the middle.
Well-placed ball. Tough one to get ready for.
Point Warriors. 20-18. Back to Ava Carlson we go. Carlson had a good service run earlier. And we will get a second timeout. Coach Allman not wanting to mess around. We'll use the second timeout.
No, he like let a little momentum go there, let the sub happen, plenty of time, and then right when that server thinks they're going to go back and serve, he just wants to have a conversation.
Well, very much a coach-led conversation in this timeout, Joel Allman. Very animated, not in a negative way, but he is very demonstrative here to show what he wants to have pass along.
Which, I mean, this is good. Like, you want everybody on the same page for the end of the set. I mean, making sure, like, no miscommunications.
Especially with no timeouts.
Yep.
This is it.
No being on our heels. Like, anticipate. Be ready to move. Make sure that anything that gets in this middle court, these short rolls and tips, like, we're anticipating. We're running through it.
It's a little more player-led over here and with some assistant coaching talking here. For Norwalk, this is a huge mental part for me. You've lost 7 sets in a row, the Dutch, since last year. You let the last one get away.
You got the lead right now, though, and they need to play.
They have to play like
it.
They have
play like you
this
have
is for Norwalk.
the lead. Yep.
They cannot let Pella back into this set. Or
I would agree.
Has big implications on set 3. Katie Sheckel's not going to make it come easy, that's for sure. That's her first kill of this set.
Really?
And she's had 3 errors so far in the set. And good to see her number back in there again. At least I'm unofficial.
Yeah, that's fair.
But in my own little universe,
yes,
that was Katie's first. And it's back to Brooke Schulte, a very good server at the back row for the Dutch.
I really liked it, so we could give her a couple more. Yes.
Big block up the middle for Plate and Shekel. Natalia Plate's had a couple big ones. That time she had Katie's help. Point Dutch.
And a good adjustment, because earlier in this match, we had kind of been going with the setter and maybe not timing the hitter. That one, they went the hitter the whole way and got a stuff block for it.
Norwalk's had a lot of success when Heim gets the dig. Settles, just gets it over. That's a double hit for Plate the old-fashioned way. One arm and then the other. Point Warriors.
Well, and that's what Joel just talked about them in the timeout, was not letting those tips go, and that one was better. But it still wasn't a playable ball afterwards. So that would be the next step. Like, yes, we got the touch, but we got to be able to do something with it once we get that dig up.
Heim, back row to Schulte. Push over by Sheck. Left side, Hatlevig. Schulte with a tough dig. Two Dutch players collide. Kalmanen settles on the near side. And the Warriors able to take advantage for now. Can Pella get something over? They do. Still on their back foot. Hatlevig hits it. What a costly mistake for the Warriors. Point Pella.
And that has scored for her. It has scored and scored and scored, but just the execution of it, she slowed down just one bit.
Well, and that's so huge because Pella was on their heels that entire point. And then to lose that point and give Pella the tie with the serve, that could be devastating. Can the Warriors pick themselves up after that? They'll give the Dutch a free ball.
Double.
And it's a double.
So that's something that people are going to see different this year.
Point of emphasis, if you will, with the officials, that especially on those pushes. That's two back-to-back really big errors for the Warriors. And this will be even.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it, so I won't talk about double contacts yet, but maybe it'll pop up in set 3. Oh, we have a timeout.
Salt in the wound for the Warriors as it's a service ace for the Dutch, and they have a 2-point lead.
Can we talk about double contacts?
Talk about double contact.
Okay, so this is something new this season. The double contact on the second attempt has gone away. So when setters would mishandle the ball and it would start to spin, you would see the official call a double contact. That is no longer able to be called in high school volleyball. It went away in college last year or the year before. But you can call a double contact on the third. So if they're trying to push the ball across the net and that spins, you're going to see officials call that way more this season because they can't call it on the second contact. So we've already seen it in several of our matches. Any push across the net that comes out uneven, out of the hands and is spinning, I think officials are going to call it. So it changes a little bit of how aggressive you can be on that push across the net.
One timeout remains for Norwalk. This is Ella Heemstra back at the service line again. The Dutch with a 2-point lead. Hatlevig with a big swing, but Shekel there to respond, and the tip over is in.
And
Katie Shekel.
That's that hustle out of Julia. Like, she knew she had to get that ball, get it up high enough. She knew right where Sheck was, and then Katie's able to really put a nice finish on that ball.
Set point Pella. Heemstra right where she wanted to Hatlevig. Tip over. Shekel ready. Settles up the middle for Brand. Pushes it over. Tip. Settles was ready for it, but no one could get to it. Point Pella. Hatlevig, her 5th kill of this set. 24-22.
Yep, and Norwalk's trying to attack our setter. They're trying to get her to take that first ball so that way the libero has to take second because it changes the offense.
Michael, the setter, to serve for the Dutch. Tipped over. And another error here for Pella. Point Warriors. Well, Norwalk, very happy to see those back-to-back plays. So I don't think they would have felt very good falling there, but they're still on one more set point.
They are on set point. Just takes one here. Good aggressive serve.
Right to Shekel. Oh, a little bit of getting to that early was Michael. Settles. Looking for Katie Shekel.
Good dig
by Heim to keep it alive. And then Abby Brand sends it home. Point Dutch, 25-23.
That's another just super close set.
Well, these will pay dividends for both teams down the road to play this on September the 2nd. We'll step aside. More volleyball coming up on Pella Dutch Live. are back on Pella Dutch Live, getting you set here for set number 3. Pella 25-22 and now 25-23. Andrew Schneider and Katie Brand as going to call this a gut check moment here for Norwalk. I mean, mentally early in the season, you know the Warriors wanted nothing more than to come here to Pella and spoil the home opener and to kind of set things sideways for their rivals, but Norwalk has had leads late in both of those sets, Katie, going up to that 20-point mark, but they've had some really critical errors when it's mattered the most, and Pella is too good of a team to make those miscues against late. And now for Norwalk, if nothing else, you want to come out of here with a set or two and just get some momentum back. For Pella, it's can you finish? This is a really interesting more mental test here in set 3, I think, for both teams.
Pella has shown a couple times already this season that they are kind of gritty. Like, they've been down on teams and been able to fight back. So I think that is some of that confidence of the upperclassmen coming through.
Jillian Hammond gets her 5th kill.
But I don't know. I think we have more volleyball to watch tonight.
There is still a lot to be written here at Pella High School. It's not over yet. We'll start there, but it is a 2-0 advantage for the Dutch. Shekel up the middle.
And Norwalk is trying to slow that down, but especially when she's in the middle, you just have no idea which direction she's going to go. She can cut left, she can cut right, or she can use one of her tips and rolls. It's hard to defend her hitting right out of the middle of the net.
She's just so, I mean, it's weird to say so experienced, but she's been playing varsity high school sports since she was in 8th grade.
Correct.
So there's so much knowledge, and then physically that she's healthy this year, and she's been able to be in the weight room like she's wanted to this summer. She's a Division I athlete who's finally, hit that level, and we're getting to have a lot of fun watching it all on play here as Abby Brand gets a big swing in.
And that was a pretty aggressive take to Abby to swing on too, but it definitely caught the defense.
Well, and it's already interesting to talk college decisions. Abby made her big choice, and quite the program she's headed to up in Minnesota.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Northwestern St. Paul. Tyler Crabb, our Pella Christian guy, is a proud alum.
Is he really? Oh, I can't wait to talk to him about that.
He was very excited when I shared the Instagram post.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great program for Abby. Definitely a program that is bigger than volleyball. I mean, they really just talk a lot about the whole person, the whole athlete. And, she's pretty excited to have her decision made, especially with the stress of senior year and all the activities.
Yep. She won't feel stressed about that swing. 8 kills for Brand, 10 for Shekel. Point Pella, a 4-1 lead. Right now it looks like the Dutch have some momentum coming out of that last set.
Well, and I do think when you have a class that wants to play beyond high school, there is an inner drive that is pretty contagious. And since there's multiple of them in this class that want to play at the next level, like, they're really taking their games seriously.
And there's Katie Shekel.
And it's not just high school sports for them. Like, there's a beyond. And I think that brings some intensity.
Abby personifies a lot of that as a jazz band champion and a marching Dutch frontline person with the percussion. And I know she has other aspirations that we'll talk about later this fall. 5-1. She mentioned it in her Let's Get to Know interview, so that's airing hopefully soon. 5-1. She got to explain to our audience what our sports audience, what a duchess is.
Yes.
She's been a duchess, and actually a few members of this team have been as well.
Yep, she and Olivia have both been duchesses for Tulip Time and
Point Warriors, 5-2.
In promoting the Pella community in Tulip Time, and it's been a super, super fun ride.
Brand adds to it. It's been the Shekel and Brand power hour here. All 6 points off the right arms of Sheck and Abby. 6-2 Dutch lead.
And we haven't seen this much separation early yet in this match.
Tip over. Back row for Brooke Schulte. And then tipped over by Brand at the net. Hatlevig gets her
on the other side.
To go.
That was super smart. She had come in and then she stayed on that right side. I don't think we were quite expecting it. And again, like, Coach Allman is not going to be thrilled that another tip hit the floor. I definitely think that's something it's a hole exposed in our defense, and I definitely think that is something Pella's going to work on.
Abby Brand with the attack. Back row for Ellie Hatlevig.
Just
wide of
wide.
the mark. In other Little Hawkeye Conference action, Pella Christian with a 2-0 lead after 2 sets, 25-21, 25-16 over Oskaloosa. So the Eagles and AJ Kakmarinsky in her second season trying to get some early momentum with a team that's got some pretty high prospects in Class 3A.
And we saw them in passing at the tournament on Saturday. We were not in the same gym.
Big swing for Carlson. Drop the hammer on that one to Deva.
3A, that's a big deal.
In many ways, though, that's a class I think some people, there's some good teams there too.
Agreed. And competition-wise, I mean, they play
and
up,
they play up
all the time. But it was just surprising to see.
They have added a few students over on Eagle Lane the last couple of years.
They have.
They're in 2A football for the first time. Little chicken wing there for Julia
Good save.
Settles.
Good save.
At least keeps the point alive. Can't play it if you can't get it over the net. Carlson took something off that one. Lowry called for it. Settles.
Great hustle. She saved that ball.
There's a whistle. And Pella's in the net. Point Warriors.
All right, so we're kind of hanging around. I feel like the energy has lulled just a little bit. See who starts to turn on the firepower.
Mila Brown to serve for Norwalk.
That's going to be wide. Or long. It's going to be long.
Natalia Plate and Olivia Cutler checking in. 8-5 Pella for Cutler, who has a game high for all athletes, 3 service aces.
Oh, that was close.
Nearly got 4. Tipped over nicely by Steele at the net for Norwalk. Schulte into the double block. Point Pella.
Brooke has done that time and time again already this season. I mean, she has been super aggressive going after blocks. Like, you have to block me in court or I'm going to use tool just right off that out of bounds. And it's been really effective.
Well, and just like that, we mentioned the Eagles. They win 3-0 over Oskaloosa.
Good for them.
Of course, this is the last year of these dynamics in this Little Hawkeye Conference. Talk about that in a moment. Julia Settles tips it over. We got contact. Got bodies hitting the floor, and it's a point Pella. 2 new additions.
Yeah, I think they were in the net on that block as they came across.
2 new additions. Ames and Des Moines Christian will be joining us next fall. So we will have, I believe, at this point, there will not be another team to be added next academic year. So we will have 1 year at least of 9 teams, which I think overall is better. And Pella Christian probably not super happy that they're, Pella almost got the silver.
That was close.
Pella Christian, I don't think initially feels super great about the size of those schools, but they're growing. I mean, and Des Moines Christian, honestly, is probably more in their wheelhouse for things anyway.
They are, and I think they'll bring a good competitive measure. People have been talking about, our schedule, how we only have 3 regular season home matches and a tournament. And so adding 2 more conference schools, you'll get at least 1 more home game each year, which I think will be really fun. And I do think it'll bring some competitiveness, just some variety in who we play. And I like that there's a little bit more of those regular matches, because of our 14 dates, we only play 6 regular matches. Everything else is a tournament, a quad, or a triangular.
Natalia Plate, by the way, getting that kill. Off the block here for the Dutch. Lowry gets a tough dig. And then Shekel with a...
Yep, must have touched that block.
Hit into the Warriors. Thought it was a miss hit, but
right.
Pella lives to see another play.
Good hustle.
Settles, setting it up off the tip.
Yes, that was a very aggressive.
Shekel up to 11 successful attempts.
And then when you have Olivia Lowry in the backcourt, I mean, the defense definitely steps up. You just have another person whose sole job is to dig up the ball. And so they're really covering that back floor well right now.
And that is a point Pella at timeout Warriors. And to finish that conference thought, so this year the goal will be to find a 10th school, because if it goes to 10, they will split things up by league.
Okay.
So there will be 5 and 5, if it's another enormous 4A, 5A type school, Pella likely stays in a small schools division.
Which is funny to me that we'd be in the small school. But
my understanding is that if Pella is the 6th school, they will ask whoever number 5 is, depending, to switch up. Pella would rather play the bigger schools. Well, we compete.
We compete.
We compete.
And we know that really, truly, the conference title does not mean anything for postseason.
No.
So if you drop a conference match or two, but you're playing better competition, it's what's going to propel you forward in the postseason.
Well, and for those who don't know, Ottumwa this summer was pretty serious about the request. I don't know how far that's gotten with the conference schools.
Okay.
Urbandale can reconsider.
Yeah, for sure.
And then honestly, though, now that there's 9, schools like Van Meter and Knoxville may reconsider. We don't know.
That's true, because it's kind of a.
Now you know you're
going to go together. Yeah.
Now you know there will be a small school division to go to. So that'll be the question. And that's why I say the if situations. 12-6 Dutch. Schulte gets it over. Off the block and out.
Natalia, she's done an awesome job getting touches on that middle tempo, because it's a pretty fast middle tempo, and she's done a really good job getting hands on there and trying to slow down that attack.
We are on Pella Dutch Live, 12-7, Pella over the Warriors. Ava Carlson. Right side, Schulte.
Great swing by Brooke.
And now Brooke rewarded with the serve. Off the net. Good recovery by Norwalk. That was not an easy serve to handle. Schulte gets a back row attack.
That was solid.
14-7. We talked about that at the end of set 2, just the mental break there that the Warriors have to overcome, right?
Yep.
You get that lead. You had a 3-point lead at 20, and then...
Okay, look for the ace cheer. There's a new ace cheer this year. It's a roll and then a mill.
Roll Mills.
Roll Mills. So shout out to our bench, Grace Clark, Taylor Fujiyama, Taryn Hall, Audie Visser. It's an amazing ace cheer.
Hammond with a big swing, her 3rd kill of the set. Really the only life Norwalk has had has come from Jillian Hammond in this set. 3 of their 8 points from her.
And I will give a huge shout out to the Pella role players on the bench. They have been phenomenal so far this season. I mean, we were at the Bondurant tournament for almost 12 hours.
That was a long day.
It was a long day.
You and I were texting, and I was like, you're still going? You're like, yep.
And those girls
Harper
were
Kalman.
Just amazing teammates, super positive, great cheers. I know they take stats, like they do it all. And I think it just shows that there is something special on this team right now.
Peyton Zeman, by the way, on that serve.
It's been fun to watch so far.
This is Ella Heemstra serving for the Dutch. Overpass, dumped over by Abby Brand, her 4th kill of this set. Well, and I think the hard part for them, those girls in particular, is, let's face it, most of them are not going to see the floor that often this year. With the rotation as it's built, not saying there can't be others who come in, but you get to spend most of your Tuesdays and Saturdays standing there. So can you make the most of that moment, be a good teammate, add something to the team that's not on the floor, and those girls so far clearly have that energy.
Oh, they do. They absolutely do. And you need it. You need the, I'm on the court, I'm struggling, I'm going to look over and find my teammate, and
Hadley Michael serving.
Yeah.
Heemstra, after a good save by Settles, free ball, but a tough one for the Warriors to navigate. Hatlevig. Now Brooke couldn't get it in 3 hits, but that's okay. Big swing for Ellie.
Yeah, but Ella was close to getting that one.
17-10. A long way to go here for the Warriors. Oh, Kalman got to it. I think kind of threw off the mojo there. Those plays happen. And for Harper, it's just a matter of her just needing to trust what Katie Shekel behind her it's not necessarily a bad thing she did, but it was caused a little disruption.
If Katie's there and doesn't call it, she doesn't.
Right.
Again, they haven't played together enough to have that.
Another ace here
the
for
unspoken
Michael.
Chemistry. I mean, that usually comes in October.
Right.
It's not going to come on September 2. So they just have to keep the focus going right now, not let up, keep the pressure on, keep talking.
17-12, Dutch still in control, but Coach Allman would like them to, for lack of a better term, go for the jugular, so to speak. Not give Norwalk life here late. You and I have been in this gym for many a team goes up 2-0 and somehow loses set 5.
Yep, the reverse sweep they call it, and it is very, very the momentum swing happens so fast. So it's something that you have to stay ahead of, otherwise you can just lose.
Well, and Norwalk led in both of those sets late. So it's not it is a very capable team is what I'm saying on the other side. This is not a team that you can let get any oxygen to their fire, so to speak. Point Warriors, they're back within 5. Well, and Coach Allman said he's seen enough.
Again, getting on the same page. We're near the end of the set, making sure everybody's looking for the same things.
Well, and I think a loss like this, if it were to happen, if Norwalk were to come back here, that's a mentally devastating blow to take. It's not like it was a back and forth and you gave it up late, right? Like it was, like if it was like, say, 13-13 right now and you lost the set, to have led the entire set and then to let them come back would really give Norwalk a big spark.
That's the point that I was trying to make. Like the swing is so substantial that it becomes deflating really fast, and then
you're thinking.
Yeah, then you just can't get it back.
It becomes a game of you're not reacting anymore. Then you're like, okay. So we'll see how it all shakes out. It's just early. Pella still has control of this one for now, but Norwalk is a ranked team and will be most of the season for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the big reason is got the serve right now, Hatlevig.
Right, and that's a tough, I mean, they can score with her in the back row, but they really like to score with her in the front row.
Kalman tips it over.
Great spot.
Finds her spot right on the line. Crafty move there by Kalman. Lowry will check in with a serve. Pella 19-13. At this point, you'd like to keep scoring, but point for point is not the end of the world here either. You've got a little cushion.
Yep.
So if you do have a mistake, not saying you want one, it's not the end of the world if there's a miscue. Right side off the block. Big swing for Steele. Warriors at the service line with Mila Brown. Settles. Flat-footed swing for Brand. Battle at the net. Back to the Warriors. Carlson stuffed. Stuffed again. Abby Brand having a big third set. That's her 5th attack. Point Dutch.
It was not a point Dutch.
She didn't touch it?
It came down on our side.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
Thank you. The reaction said otherwise.
But
Thank you.
It was a good aggressive net play. It's just they won the joust on the last one.
And there's a service ace. That's a big swing. 3 points in for Norwalk here.
It is.
Ace for Brown. Settles, just tips it over. Long tip on the other side for Heemstra to respond to. Schulte off the block and in. Well, don't look now. Here come the Warriors. They're back within 2. We said it multiple times.
Maybe we shouldn't have said it.
Well, we're not down there.
No. Nope. And you got to play. Got to play. Got to respond. Have to make adjustments. Have to bring the intensity, match the energy that it's across the other side of the net.
It is very easy as a human being to think to yourself, okay, this is over. It's a natural instinct. I'm not saying these girls gave up.
No.
But mentally, it is so hard to say, I got to keep attacking, attacking. We're up by 6. Well, now guess what? You're only up by 2.
Well, and I would say that Pella hasn't had that match yet. I mean, they have played close with everyone. We saw scores this weekend that were 21-2, 21-3. Like, we haven't had a 21-10 or any of those yet. I mean, we're playing
still
really
may not for a while.
We're playing really tough competition, but that push the pedal down, finish it all the way, we haven't really had that yet this season.
Well, we are still the Mila Brown serving for Norwalk, and they've closed the gap here in set 3.
I think this point after the timeout is a big one.
Heemstra gets it going. Tied on the net for Shekel.
Out.
Brooke Schulte.
Yep, that's her. Kind of her bread and butter right now.
At some point, she'd like to get him clean on the other side of the net.
I know she would. I mean,
she'll take it.
It's fun. It's fun to have the big swing that hits the court, but that is the same point.
It is. It counts
it's the same point.
Olivia Cutler has had big serves at the end of sets in 1 and 2.
Straight up by Lowry.
Left side, longer tip. Hatlevig into the center of the net. 21-17 Dutch. There is one timeout remaining in this, and it's Norwalk's to take if they want to.
Yeah, I would say another point, maybe 2.
21-17 for Cutler. She's had a really good service.
She has.
Time tonight. Carlson, though, slips that one through. Carlson has had a pretty solid night. 8 kills for Ava.
Yeah, I definitely have been impressed with, as that outlet, what she's been able to do with the ball. I mean, she's been able to swing aggressively. She's had a good mix. She's just another player that plays really hard.
Just very tenacious.
Yes, that pursues.
Seen her play volleyball a lot, or basketball a lot. She plays that same way on the basketball court, too.
Great intensity.
Oh, the first dump attempt, I think, for either team tonight. And it ends up being a flat-footed error for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was just too fast. Not enough time for her to get that outside transition all the way.
And we're going to get a sub in here. Peyton Zeman comes in as Julia Settle is trying to slam the door. 22-18 Dutch. They're up 2-0 overall. Settles to the back row. Hine. Carlson. Shekel. Out of system ball. Still gets it over with a pretty good swing.
Good talk.
And Schulte gets it home.
That was a great reversal of the action. Everything was towards the outside with Shekel, but then we bring it to the right side with Brooke and totally throw their defense off. There's that timeout.
And there's a final timeout tonight. Assuming the Dutch can close the door with 2 points remaining. We're having fun here tonight on Pella Dutch Live as Norwalk 23-18 they trail. Pella is back in action this weekend. Talk about the tournament this weekend as they head to Valley. Just a few slouches up there.
You know, it's a new tournament, and I haven't even had time today to look at the schedule.
Well, if Valley is there, I think there's at least one good team.
Right.
Valley beat Norwalk this season already, and I would imagine if Valley's having a tournament, Waukee can't be far, Waukee Northwest can't be far, Ankeny Centennial can't be far. I'm going to guess this is probably the toughest tournament we play in all year. I would venture a guess. Although that Southeast Polk tournament, if we're in it, is also tends to be a doozy.
That one is loaded for sure. Oh, right off the head of Natalia Plate.
Oh, you take them as you can get them. Double block there for the Warriors off of Shekel. This time Pella reverses field again. Off the block. This is Lowry with the dig.
Yep, and Ella was right there.
And Katie Shekel hits it on the back line.
Whew. Okay, the Norwalk coach even gave a little applaud to that one. That was a tough shot.
The girls were asking if that was in.
It was, but I mean.
What do you do about it?
Undefendable.
Match point Pella for Settles. Freshman brings it in short. Off the block. Norwalk, another chance at it. Carlson.
There was a touch off the block.
Ooh, that was a
that was a great swing.
big swing from Ellie Hatlovig in the back row. But Pella has match point, 5 in a row here for Carlson. No timeouts for either team. Lowry, tough dig.
That was a really aggressive serve.
Shekel off the block.
Good
Hatlovig
dig again. Great job, Olivia Lowry.
Off her back foot, Schulte gets it deep in the hole for Carlson.
Go outside, out.
And it's out. And Pella will open the Little Hawkeye Conference season with a sweep of number 5 Norwalk. Pella 25-22, 23, and 19. And Pella opens with the driver's seat of the conference championship.
That was a solid win. Solid win. I mean, being down in the mid-set, strong finish at the end, keeping the separation in set 3, even with the lull. And I mean, Norwalk's going to learn a ton from this match, and they're going to continue to get better and better and better. But that is a strong opening by the Dutch to the conference season.
And a big statement for rankings and all the above that, hey, the only 2 losses for Pella have come against 2 teams that very well may win the state championship in their respective class. So
that was a super strong showing.
Pella, 13 kills for Katie Shekel tonight, 10 for Abby Brand, 9 for Brooke Schulte. Ellie Hatlovig for Norwalk finishes with 12. Ava Carlson had 8. Jillian Hammond had 7.
Okay.
Pella improves to 8-2 overall. They are now 1-0 in the Little Hawkeye Conference. Norwalk falls to 5-5. They'll open with a conference loss and try to win their way back into a share of this conference championship race. Pella ranked 3rd in 4A in the preseason poll. Norwalk ranked 5th. A lot learned here tonight. Still a lot of volleyball to be played between now and late October. Katie, final thoughts here. Pella, very solid team win, a lot of balance on offense.
Yes.
No panic. They trailed most of the first and second set, not by big margins, but they were behind and never really wavered. They felt like they were very comfortable all night.
I just liked the presence on the court. I mean, they did stay calm. They stayed very positive. The culture is very just uplifting. And you have a freshman who's basically running the offense, and he doesn't look like it.
No.
I mean, she did a great match, great overall play. They complemented each other really well on offense. It was great to have Brooke come through with those kills at the end, and Ella and Olivia Lowry just bringing it in the backcourt. Just a solid team win. I feel like every player tonight had really great moments and things that were just going to get better and better and better as the season goes on.
Well, we are going to have one of our players of the game joining us after this. We'll ask Coach Allman who he ultimately wants up here, but we are going to exclude, just for the idea early in the season, Abby, Katie, and Brooke all had other preseason interviews. So we will find someone else to talk to. Good thing a lot of people did a lot here tonight, and they'll be joining us here shortly on Pella Dutch Live. Katie, good to be back with you yet again. We won't have as much until hopefully the postseason, but a lot of volleyball that we'll be seeing each other at between now and that October run.
This was a great start.
A lot more fun to be had, and thanks to Andy, of course. This will be his final broadcast on volleyball, and we'll explain why at some point down the road. But Andy, thanks for his help, and we'll have volleyball with someone else coming up here in a few short weeks. He'll be joining us for one more football broadcast as well. In the meantime, though, we've got to get an athlete up here, our player of the game, when we come back on Pella Dutch Live. We are back on Pella Dutch Live. Pella sweeping Norwalk 25-22, 25-23, 25-19. Here with one of our senior leaders, Ella Heemstra. Last time I saw you in person, we were winning a state softball championship, so that was very fun. And now here you are in the teeth of your volleyball season, win number 8 and your first one here at home. First of all, what does it mean to get the first home win here at home against a really good conference foe and build some confidence?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, facing Norwalk, we knew going into it they were going to be a great opponent and they were going to just play a really great game. So we knew we were going to have to come in here and, play our best volleyball. And the result was very good. So,
well, and it was a Warrior team that had some pretty late leads in both the first and second set. You were down by 3 in both those instances. Coach Allman with a timeout there. What was some of the communication there from Coach, and what were the things that allowed you to take those sets even though you were down?
Yeah, he was kind of just saying, reset, play winning volleyball. That's kind of our saying of play winning volleyball. We go out there, just get the job done and kind of get a good pass, good set, and get the kill. So, yeah.
Well, and that Norwalk team kept you busy. They have a couple of really big hitters, especially Hatlevig. What as a defender are you reading when they're attacking, and what allowed you guys for the most part to keep them in check in that back row?
Yeah, I think overall we did a great job with our blocking too. Gail and Nat did a really good job at closing the blocks. We were just really reading the set if it would push the hitters out or in. Kind of depending on that, you just make your read basically off of the left shoulder of the blocker. So depending on if you see their hand cutting or, basically where their shoulders are facing, got all this different stuff.
So much of this team is about the players that are back, and you're one of them, but also the new roles and responsibility. Claire was the libero last year. She really took on that leadership role. How do you see yourself fitting into that so far, and how have you tried to become that leader while also trying to be a very good technical player? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, Claire was a great libero. She's one of my best friends, so it's awesome to be kind of stepping up into the role that she was saying, and she was like a great mentor for me. She's obviously definitely of a hype person, and maybe some people probably don't think that right away about me. I'm kind of more of a quiet leader. I don't play at a full level 10. I probably play at like a 7. So definitely trying to get my energy up, trying to communicate, and more of using my voice and my talk on the court.
And how important is that with a freshman as a setter, especially one who's also in the same boat, right? Emma did so much for the team by the end of last season. Julia's in that same role. How have you tried to convey that, knowing that also your passing is very paramount to what she's able to accomplish?
Yes, I mean, I try to help Julia out as much as I can, but she's a great player. She's an awesome person, She has a great personality. She's so loud on the court. I'm so proud of her for everything she's done as a freshman coming on the court. It's not easy. There's a bunch of pressure coming behind her, especially as a setter. So I'm really, really proud of her of how she performed tonight.
We're here with Ella Heemstra, the starting libero for the Pella volleyball team, following a win over Norwalk here on Tuesday. And I'll step back to it for one more moment. That softball run, you and Katie had that opportunity. Even though it's a different sport, how much confidence did that give you just personally being a part of that run? And how do you try to take as much of that over as you can, knowing it's a different era, different team, but how do you try to bring that championship spirit to what you're trying to accomplish here, knowing you have big goals and expectations here too?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's all about your connections you have with the teammate. You just all want to be a family on the court, so making sure that comes from both softball and from volleyball, making sure that the 6 of us on the court, but also the 6 of us on the bench are also all united. But yeah, ultimately that pays the price, yeah.
Well, and I think the other piece, too, back to a volleyball sense that I saw really tonight that maybe a huge key and was against Norwalk a couple times was serving. So much of what you do when we talk about is on the court about passing and getting the good stuff up for your big hitters, but it feels like this team has taken a step up service-wise. What are the biggest keys going forward to keep getting aces? And I know that's not always the case, but to score off your serving and to really keep good teams like Norwalk off balance, how crucial is that going forward?
Yeah, definitely. Very crucial, keeping our pressure on our serves, but also making sure that in return we're having good serve receive, good ball control, making sure that we can get that good pass to get that good set and then hit.
When I talked to Coach Allman in our preseason interview, he said a lot about this early part of the schedule. I think in your first 20 games, 75 or 80% of the teams are ranked, and not just ranked 15th or 16th, but higher up. How do you think this is going to make you better for that stretch run, playing a team like Norwalk and going through the tournament you just went through and the one you're about to play?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to help our mentality portion of the thing. Times are going to get tough, and we're going to get in some tight games, and we're just going to have to fight through it. We're going to have to come and play with each other and, rely on each other and talk and communicate and make sure that we're getting those big points and celebrating.
How much confidence does it give you, though, that you're 8-2? I mean, you've played a really tough schedule. Your only 2 losses have come against teams that very well may be hoisting state championship trophies. How much confidence does this team have, knowing you're playing a very tough schedule and you're winning quite a bit?
Yeah, it gives us great confidence, but we also need to go into the Valley tournament. We have that on Saturday, where it's going to be some good competition, so we're all excited and we're going to show our best.
Well, and the Valley tournament in particular will be a lot of 5A schools. It'll be a lot of the biggest schools that, won't have maybe postseason implications on you, but really will give you a test, especially with some teams that have 3 or 4 college-level volleyball players. What do you hope to get out of Saturday? Part A, I'm sure you hope you win, but B, on the bigger picture side, what do you hope you really gain from playing the 5A competition?
We all just need to compete. We just need to go in there and thinking that we just need to attack wherever we can. We're going to try to attack what on the court that we see is open. So we just need to make sure that we're communicating with each other, but also just making sure that we get those little things and doing the little things right.
It's so weird that school can move pretty quick. We're 10 games in, but last year ended up playing close to 50 games. That's the goal again this year. How do you keep that mentality knowing that with camp and everything, we're about a month into the season, but there's still a lot left to play? How do you kind of balance that in your head knowing the best still may be yet to come?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's only the beginning. That's what you said. But, yes, I'm so excited. It's good confidence knowing that we have plenty of room to grow. Some of these teams are coming in with a full roster back, but, we have our core group kind of, and we're just wanting to expand and making sure that kind of we adopt little people into our family and kind of expand it, and we're going to have a great team.
Well, and speaking of that, this senior class, coming off of the athletic year that we had wire to wire, right, from starting with last fall all the way through the softball and baseball championship, this senior class has a lot of expectations on them too, knowing that many of you are back to try and do a lot of that stuff again. How are you guys managing that, knowing that you still want to have fun and enjoy the moment, but also recognize that this could be another really special year for the school, especially for your senior class?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, us as seniors, as a group, we want to be leaders. We just want to show that the underclassmen kind of like, this is how it's done and this is how we're going to play, and kind of building that legacy. And Coach talks a lot about planting trees that you're never going to see grow. So that's kind of our thing as seniors, is even the little bit of freshmen, the sophomores, we want to show them like, hey, this is Pella Volleyball and this is how we're going to do things.
Well, so far, so good. Ella Heemstra for the 8-2 Dutch after they knock off Norwalk. Ella, great to talk to you again. A state softball champion. I'm not going to stop mentioning that for a while. Appreciate your time and look forward to a really special fall.
Thank you.
We will have Coach Allman, I believe, join us here on Pella Dutch Live. Pella defeating Norwalk. And we are back on Pella Dutch Live. It's our continuing coverage of Pella Volleyball. This interview powered by Hy-Vee with head coach Joel Allman of the Dutch following a 3-0 sweep over Norwalk. It's easy to say sweep in the context of not maybe telling the whole story. Norwalk led late in both the first and second sets, a couple comebacks there, and then the girls hold off a Warriors charge late to complete a sweep of a very good Norwalk team. Coach, your thoughts about how the girls handled home court pressure for the first time? Big crowd here tonight, a really good Norwalk team that had you down late in a couple of sets. You were able to rally. Your thoughts about how your girls really showed a lot of poise out there to get the sweep?
Yeah, I thought our girls just played excellent tonight, played really together, played really tough. And we talked about that a lot last year, right, of when things get tight, who wants the ball, who's going to go make a play, and don't panic. Just go do your job. And so coming into tonight, we had talked a lot about this is going to be a great atmosphere. This is a matchup that you would hope for later on in the season, right? But we got it in our first match of the year for conference, and so it was great to play in front of a huge crowd. There was a lot of anticipation. It kind of had that postseason feeling almost, which is kind of weird for being early September. But at the end of the day, I told the girls we can't ride this emotional roller coaster. We want to just be steady, point to point, because we're going to do some really good things, and we're going to do some things that are kind of head-scratching things. And so I thought our girls did that as far as just stay steady and focus on the next point.
Well, this is a Norwalk team that was largely back. I mean, this is the vast majority of the girls that you beat to go to state last year were all back, and you knew that they really wanted to have a crack at you. And early on it showed. They were very aggressive. They were trying to knock you off kilter, but your girls kind of withheld that storm. How much, I guess, fun is that as a coach to see your girls win mental battles like that, knowing that the other team really wants to get you, and then both times in those first 2 sets kind of pull the rug out from underneath them, play smart volleyball late, and to really win that mental game over the course of 3 sets.
Yeah, Norwalk played great early on, I thought, in each set. And not that they didn't do great things after that, but I thought we really just kind of settled in, dug in, and ended up putting a lot more pressure on them later in the sets. Early the first set, I thought we were serving really soft, and they were in system. They were passing really well. They were in system and just hammering balls at us, and we didn't have much of a chance to dig them up. And then you just saw us. We just kept going. We just kept going. And that started to change a little bit where they were out of system a lot more, and we were in system, and then we were able to get all of our hitters going. And I think, the stats reflect that as you can't just focus on Katie Shekel. You have to focus on the rest of our hitters as well. And so I thought Julia and Katie did a great job setting and distributing the ball. And then, Abby and Brooke and Harper and Natalia and Julia all did great jobs with their swings to get the other team out of system tonight, and we were able to score because of it.
Well, and yeah, I think so much of the story, in the big moments are going to be written by the Katie Shekels of the world and the Brooke Schultes and so on. But a lot of the little things that happened tonight, Olivia Cutler has 2 big service runs at the end of the first and second set that really seemed to get you out of a hole. Really big digs from Ella and Olivia Lowry in that back row. We'll talk about Julia separately in a second. Natalia had a couple really big blocks that came not just at a time where it's like, oh, you're going up 2-1. They were momentum blocks. And, again, like we said, no doubt that Katie and Brooke and Abby are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but if you're going to have team success, it's going to be those next 4 up, and those next 4 all had big moments tonight.
Yeah, 100%. I was very happy with the girls that don't have a ton of varsity experience. It's easy in these matches to fold or to play scared. That might be the best way of putting it, is to play scared. And yes, Olivia Cutler, who has been waiting for this opportunity to be a key contributor on our varsity volleyball team for Pella, and it's her time. And she misses her first serve of the night, and then her serving rotation comes back around, and her run in the middle of that first was the key to us kind of pushing forward and winning that set and getting momentum to start with. And then she did it in the second set again. And I've told her all the time, I have the utmost confidence in her when she has the ball in her hand behind that service line. And the same can be said for the rest of the girls that you just mentioned, that they made big plays when we needed to make them. And they just need to use this as a confidence boost in matches moving forward.
Here, Joel Allman, head coach of the Pella volleyball team. This interview powered by Hy-Vee as we check in with the 8-2 Dutch following their sweep of Norwalk, in a competitive sweep at that. And then the other really big pressure spot for you this year, you mentioned it in your preseason interview, will be Julia Settles. As a freshman coming in, has to replace a senior who was an all-tournament team player in that second role as the primary server and then the secondary hitter. And she's still young, and there's still little moments here and there, but boy, there were a lot of times she looked like a veteran out there and really almost kind of echoed what Katie maybe has done as a leader. And that's going to be huge, right? There's a lot of pressure on Julia, especially when teams are honing in on Katie to have to step up. And Julia at times looked like a senior out there. I know that's not always going to be the case. She'll have her moments, but against the Norwalk team, didn't really buckle when there was a lot of things thrown, a lot of attacks coming right at her.
Yeah. Julia doesn't need to be Emma Ekoff. Emma was certainly a special player. And Julia is and is going to be a special player as well, just because of how coachable she is, how hard she works, how great of a teammate she is. We don't need her to be something that she's not, right? She does so many good things for us. She does not play like a freshman. And so, yeah, there's going to be moments that are really great for her and moments that we'll have to just kind of work through. And my comment to her would be the same to everybody. That's going to happen. That's part of sports, right? Everybody makes mistakes. And so I thought she just handled the moment great tonight, and just super, super proud of her and happy for her because of the person that she is.
Well, the fun part about this is you and I talked about in our preseason interview the schedule you're playing. And your 2 losses have come to teams that very well may end up winning their respective classes championships, certainly high-ranked teams in 2A, 3A. You've played, I think, the vast majority of your minutes and matches so far have been against teams that are ranked in the preseason poll and will be ranked in the next poll coming out this week. And that doesn't change this weekend. What are you hoping the girls are getting from this? The winning is nice. I know the winning is maybe the cherry on top, but ultimately when we talked in the preseason, you talked about the growth. What are you now seeing from that growth now that you've played 10 of those matches?
I think, number one, just mentally, we're starting to pick up the game and see the game faster, right? If we played against teams that ran a little bit slower tempo or their passing wasn't great, or they're not fast at the net, transition and approaching, and once again their tempo is slow, then yeah, we could win those matches, right, and have confidence that way. But we're not going to learn to play at a state championship level, and so the schedule, even in the preseason, all the way from the summer to our team camp at the beginning of the season, we have played 28 teams that are ranked in the preseason poll before we even started the season, right? In scrimmages and team camps. And so, now we are used to playing against really good competition. And when we see, 4A number 5 coming to our place, it's nothing to panic about. It's a match that we're excited to play in. And we know that we've played tough competition and we're good enough to be there and to play them. And so it's once again just it's a match for us that we're really excited to play in, that we get to play in, and that's what I think the girls are doing.
And this weekend doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
You're going to Valley, and a lot of the teams that Norwalk had lost to will be there. It's a very 5A heavy tournament with a few other teams mixed in. Again, it seems like a very similar mantra, but I'm going to guess a lot of learning, you hope. Wins will be bonuses, I'm sure, this weekend if you're able to get wins, but more so the importance, I'm sure, of growth and what this does long range for you in late October. Yeah,
we have to learn to put pressure on people at all times because if we're not putting pressure on people, the good teams are gonna have field days against us. And so, once again, our hard schedule so far and our really hard schedule this weekend is going to teach us how to put pressure on people even when we're not in system. And so, yeah, we get to play this weekend 5A, number 1, number 3, number 5, and number 7, I'm pretty sure. And I could be off on a couple of those rankings, but
they're all very good.
They're all really good, and we're really good as well, right? And our girls, I think, are going to look forward to this weekend because at the end of the day, we have nothing to lose, in my opinion. We have nothing to lose, and so we're just going to – I want us to play free and fast and just attack and have fun and see what happens.
Well, and how important is it, and not that you wouldn't be playing 110% anywhere, whatever the number would be, you got to bye next week too. So how critical is it to really give it all this weekend, Saturday, and then use that next week with the bye coming up as a chance to heal and even learn from that, regardless of what happens Saturday?
Yeah, that's a great point. And this was kind of intentional, and it depends on where tournaments fall, right, and how conference schedules kind of shift. But I was hoping, because I knew we had a week off after this Saturday, that all the lessons that we were learning, that we'd be able to kind of break them back down, get them cleaned up, and then move forward in the season. And luckily we've won those matches, right, and still learned lessons along the way. But, yeah, this group is starting to get closer and closer as a team, and we're learning to practice harder and harder. And so, we get to play volleyball every day, and that's just a blessing, and these girls are taking advantage of that, and I'm happy for them.
It's been a fun start to the season. The number 3 Dutch are 8-2. They sweep Norwalk here to open the conference season. The Valley Tournament, elite tournament coming up this Saturday with 5A schools, and then a bye next week. That's head coach Joel Allman. This interview powered by Hy-Vee. Coach, appreciate your time. Enjoy a little bit of time to practice next week after all the games, and look forward to seeing you in person again soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all that you guys do. We appreciate it.
That wraps up our coverage here on Pella Dutch Live and on 92.1 KRLS. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a couple of home games. Our next broadcast is Friday, Pella versus Waverly Shell Rock football on KRLS. Have a good night.